Welcome back to the channel, Bridging the Gap, Student to Engineer, where STEM professionals provide advice to students. Today we're going to go through the student outcomes for a school that really caught my eye. I haven't seen anything like this before, so I really wanted to do a video of it and point out this unique characteristic of this school and maybe get you interested in going to a school that maybe you haven't heard of. So that school is the Missouri University of Science and Technology. For short, it's Missouri S&T. So let's just get right into it. Missouri S&T gives their career outcomes information on their statistics and figures website, and specifically their career outcomes Power BI dashboard. So that's what we're going to use. I have filtered for the College of Engineering and Computing as well as the other college. What I filtered out is art, science, and education. So these are technical communications and those types of majors. So I filtered those out and focused on what we have here. And then I've also filtered for bachelor's level, since that is mostly what we focus on in this channel. So what I'm going to go to on the top is the positive outcome rate. This is the key metric that we typically look at for schools. Being in the upper 90% is really, really good. That just indicates that if you are going to go to the school and you are graduating from the school, that the likelihood that you will get a job or get into a grad school that you want to go to is pretty significant. The average reported salary being in the 70s is also excellent. That is heavily reliant on the fact that this school is a STEM school. If you compare this to a lot of more comprehensive public schools, you'll see much lower numbers, but really good for a STEM school. All right, so what I skipped over when I went through the other two pieces is the students by outcome. So if you look at this, we have in 2022, 2023, about 654 of the 792 respondents are working, and a significantly lower number, 90, are continuing their education. So typically we see this low percent of students continuing their education in schools that are more hands-on and are more focused on getting you that bachelor's and getting you ready to go work in the career field of your choice rather than making grad students. So yeah, it's not a good or a bad thing, but if you are someone who wants to get into school, be ready to have a job and just go into a well-paying profession, then this is a good place for you. And then the big thing that I want to look at and point out, and the reason that this school caught my eye, is the top hiring employers. Typically what I see when I look at top hiring employers is I really just want to have a lot of companies listed, but I want to have companies hiring more than one student. And if you look at this, I mean, even just the ones that are the top 10 or so that are peered, they're hiring well more than one graduate. I mean, you've got to scroll down before you even get to the twosies and threesies. What this tells me, without telling me, is that these companies are coming and they are recruiting from this school. They like the graduates from this school, and they are hiring a lot of them. There are a number of schools that you will go to where you as a student graduating or you as a student trying to get an internship are going to have to do a lot of the work to get that job. It doesn't look like that to me here with Missouri S&T. It looks to me like these companies are coming after you as a student, and they are happy with the grads here and they continue to hire them. But the biggest thing that sticks out is the company on the top, the Boeing company. For any school to have this significant number of students going to one company is just amazing to me. If we just look percentage wise, we got 51 grads in bachelor's out of 249. So that's about 20% of the bachelor's grads from Missouri S&T going to a single company. That is really impressive. I feel like this this school is a really good pipeline into that company. So Missouri S&T is in Rolla, Missouri. It is in south central Missouri. It's about an hour and 45 minutes from St. Louis and about 2 hours from Kansas City. Boeing Company has a lot of work going on in St. Louis, and we'll get to what that is. But they're hiring, the St. Louis location is hiring a lot of S&T grads. So if Boeing is something that you're interested in, um, if fighter jets, to give you a little bit of a spoiler, is something you're interested in, this is a really good way to make your path towards that career. Some of these other companies, though, Burns and Mac has a really big presence in Kansas City, Missouri Department of Transportation, the state transportation organization. And then a lot of these other companies are things that we've heard before or seen in other places, but definitely a lot of STEM companies and a lot of local companies, but also, ones that are all over the place. Now, let me just say for Boeing and Burns and Mac, both of those companies have locations all over the US. And so if you are interested in first the scope that they do, but also interested in moving around the country possibly, or having that opportunity with a job, these are really good places to go get into. And Missouri S&T may very well be a good pipeline for them. So if Boeing is such a big employer of grads at Missouri S&T, do they just hire aerospace engineers? Well, I did a filter, and I see here that they hire grads with 7 different majors. What isn't readily apparent is the number that they hire from each of these majors, but with a little bit more digging, I discovered that the most common is mechanical. So they hired 22 mechanical engineers out of the 51 grads. The reason I'm pointing this out is because there is a big interest level in aerospace right now. But if you watch the aerospace engineering video that I did, and I'll provide the link here, you'll see that there are quite a number of other majors that you could major in and get into the same industry, and would also make it easier for you to go get jobs outside of the industry if that doesn't work out for you. So 22 mechanical grads. In contrast, they hired 7 aerospace engineers and 7 computer science majors. So there is a huge opportunity here for you to major in a number of different things and still get into the industry. So the question is, what does Boeing do in St. Louis? A lot of us have heard of Boeing in Washington and the Seattle area, where they do a lot of their commercial jetliners. But if you look at what Boeing does in St. Louis, you'll see fighter jet programs. I got all of this information from Simple Flying. The source is on the bottom, but I will provide the link in the comments to the video. But what you see Boeing doing in St. Louis is a lot of development of new fighter jets. So if you're interested in being on the cutting edge of fighter jet technology, want to be a part of defense, and I would say national defense, but it looks like they sell some of these jets to our allies around the world. You can get more information on the Simple Flying website. But this is a real hub for not the commercial side of Boeing, but the more of the development of the defense and space type side of Boeing, and also student learning programs. So that's a nice thing that Boeing does there. But if this is something that interests you, definitely look at Missouri S&T. This may be a really good way for you to get right into Boeing by going to a school that may not be super highly ranked or on your list that you thought of when you first started looking for schools, but definitely something that could get you right into Boeing. So with that, I'll thank you for listening to the end. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one.